Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about vulnerability and the importance of being able to be vulnerable, to move on with your life and to learn. In the past, I would take things seriously and take myself so seriously that any kind of feedback would just set me over the edge and make me feel maybe angry or anxious or any number of negative feelings. But I'm going to keep it real today. I'm going to keep it vulnerable. I'm going to share with you some things that I've been going through personally lately, and how I'm working through those things. When I started posting on This Naked Mind, I shared a lot of vulnerable things. As time went on and I got into maybe around year 2 of my sobriety, I started posting more about inspirational things to help people kind of with that are new to sobriety. And I didn't feel the need as much to talk about my day-to-day struggles, but I still have them. I don't dwell on them as much as I used to, and I kind of know who I can go to when I need to talk through some of those things. And sometimes it's on This Naked Mind, but not all the time, not as frequently as it used to be, especially in the first couple of years of my sobriety. But I did want to share with you some things that I'm going through with this YouTube channel and some thoughts that I had on that. A couple days ago, I was thinking about the fact that I was trying to promote this Facebook group that I started, and I'm really the only member of right now. I made it a private group, and really it was just to kind of promote it on here to get people into this community where we could chat and be more open about our dialogue and what we're going through in our life. YouTube is more of a visual thing, I find, and Facebook and other platforms are better for like social aspects, like typing out things and talking about your feelings. And that my idea was to have people go from my YouTube channel over to the Facebook group, and then have my Facebook group promote some of the YouTube videos and say, hey, I've got a video for this over here, so that you could go back over there and look. And so I started kind of promoting that last week on a few of the videos that I made, and I was kind of getting discouraged that no one was joining. But the more that I thought about it, and this group that I made, I started to think, like, do I want to make it public? And I know that I would gain a ton of subscribers or members if I just made it public and made it easy to get into. But then I started feeling kind of anxious, and that's never usually a good sign. So I kind of just slept on it. I had some kind of bad dreams, I guess, but I did wake up and I thought, I need to talk about this with my wife, and maybe even This Naked Mind, and kind of whoever else even my group that I have outside of This Naked Mind that I met there, maybe share with them, even though we're not like talking all the time anymore. We still have an email thread that we use. So being that I'm not in therapy or anything like that, or whatever, I feel like I have to kind of put my trust in my other resources that I have, and not just kind of sit and dwell on these things so much, because it does cause anxiety. So just being open and vulnerable in this post and sharing with you my thoughts on the YouTube channel. I started this thing because I just felt like it was the next step after I did my church testimonial. I felt like it was the next step in maybe making videos about sobriety and about faith and maybe mental health, and then that's what I've done. I've created some playlists on each one of those individual topics, but they're all available just all in a row. But my goal was to just make this a community of people that share my faith and share my passion for my faith and share my passion for my sobriety, and just kind of give people my story. And if anybody relates to that, then that would be great, because that's really what I'm doing this for. I'm not doing this to monetize it. If it leads to that, then that would be great. But the more I'm reading about it, I mean, I'm not going to make a lot of money doing YouTube videos, even the best of them that have millions of subscribers. I mean, if you have 1 million, you're probably doing okay just on YouTube. But just people that just have, tens of thousands or whatever, I don't think they're making like a ton of money on it. And if they're spending a lot of time doing these videos, it might not seem like it's like worth it to spend your entire existence building this YouTube channel. Maybe there's other ways. And so that was my idea with the Facebook thing. But after I talked to my wife and discussed it with her, I mean, she has no idea really what I'm doing on YouTube. I mean, she doesn't watch YouTube, but for whatever reason, YouTube always drew me in, because I'm more of a visual person. So just being able to look and see and listen helps me like understand and comprehend things. But it took me a good couple years into my sobriety to kind of look at my anxiety and my distrust of others and try to fix that. It was around year 2.5, so it was like 2023, the beginning of the year, and it turned out to be like my New Year's resolution to care less what other people thought about me. And not to say I don't care, but not worry so much and take everything so personally, especially just like feedback or someone's opinion or anything like that. So I was going to get back into therapy. I called. They said, it's been over a year since you've been here, so we got to start the whole process over, and you'll have to see, have to do a initial evaluation and go through that again, and this and that. And so I ended up saying, I mean, really? I mean, it's only been like a year and a half. So, but she said, no, you got to start over. So I kind of said, I'll think about it, and I hung up and I never called back. I decided, I can do this myself. I've been to therapy twice within the first 2.5 years of my sobriety, and I don't feel like I need to do that again. So I really just picked up a book. I picked up a book called The Anxious Heart's Guide by Rikki Cloos, and I'll put the name of the book and the title here on the screen. But I read that, and I determined there's these styles of anxiety, especially in regards to relationships, and in particular this was more or less like newer relationships. So to that degree, I didn't quite see eye to eye with what she wrote, but as a whole, I really kind of took away a lot from this book, and I got to a point where I figured out that my style is fearful avoidant. And a fearful avoidant, and I took some notes here, and I put on here that a fearful avoidant fears closeness. They have difficulty trusting others. They have a negative view of themselves and others. They become distressed, like when separated, especially if there was a fight or something like that. I found it causes anxiety to feel like what the other person might be thinking. And a fearful avoidant cuts people off, so just they can't get a word in edgewise. You feel like you gotta keep saying what you feel when you're talking with them, and then you dissociate from your feelings. And so I related to a lot of that. And then some of the habits of a fearful avoidant is put themselves on a pedestal, or put the other person in the relationship on a pedestal. Getting in contact with them just to soothe your own anxiety sometimes might push them away. Acting hostile. So all those things I kind of related to in my relationship, and I wanted to fix that. Like I wanted to trust my wife more. I wanted to trust my friends more, my family, and I just wanted to grow out of that. And I got to a point where I was like, I can work on this. And just like it took a while to get sober, I think it's going to take a while to get through these emotions and these feelings and these anxieties and that kind of thing. So one quote that I wrote down that I took from this book, that I put in my notes 2 years ago, it says, the secure have resilience in the face of adversity, management of their reactions and feelings, and pro-social skills. Their friendships are better. They enjoy better relationships with friends, parents, and authority figures. I wanted that. I wanted that. All that. I wanted it. And it took me a good 6 months, I'd say, or even up through that year, to get to a point where I felt like, hey, like when I share these feelings with my wife, or with my mom, or with my daughters, or with my Naked Mind group, or with anybody that I feel like I can trust, when they give me feedback on things, like I take it and listen to it, and I don't get all anxious inside and feel like I need to defend myself. I say, you know what? That's a good insight, and that might be helpful to me. And just as an example, last night, I had a conversation with one of my older daughters, that I opened up with, like, talking about social media and really how my YouTube channel pertains, and I just really was looking to get maybe some ideas on how she might think of it, or how a younger person might view these things. And it was interesting because she had some good insights. Kind of at the end of our talk, she said, I can tell you're not looking to be an influencer. I can tell it's from your heart. And she's right. I mean, I'm doing this. It's no different than what I did on This Naked Mind every day, except it's visual. And that was kind of what I wanted to do at the beginning of all this, on This Naked Mind. I just wasn't comfortable being on camera yet. So I might post something about vulnerability and type it all out in a really long post that some people will read and like and comment on and stuff like that. But I thought, now that I'm more comfortable in being on camera, I can make these in like a long video form and kind of describe it visually. Because, like I said, I'm a visual person. That helps me. And my wife says, how can you just sit there and look at someone's face for like 15 minutes like this video is? And I would just say, well, I mean, I'm not that interested in looking at someone's face, but I mean, if they have something that's interesting to say, then I'll just sit and I will listen, and I will watch it to completion. And because it just, like, that's just kind of how I roll. But I haven't figured out like the other audio podcast platforms much. I did post on one of the podcast platforms, and I don't think it got any views, and that's okay. But I think it was my my video with Pastor Brad that I posted on their podcast player, and I thought it went to all the podcasts, Apple and all the podcasts, Spotify and that. I'm not sure if it did. I'd have to look, but I think I was going to post one on Spotify too. But in any case, I may go that route at some point. I'm not sure, but I think I can get lost in the minutia of making these videos and posting them. Like making them is maybe like 10% of it. Like the work comes in on editing it kind of and putting other like wording on here, or like even just the subscribe button might take a minute to upload, but it's kind of time consuming to think of these things and maybe make notes, make the videos, post them, edit them, and that kind of thing. And I think it can be time consuming. And I spent like an hour, I would say an hour a day on This Naked Mind when I first started there. And I'm not sure exactly how much time I'm spending on like making the videos and posting them and putting like the description on there with them, but I mean, I would say it's probably a good hour a day. But I'm really interested in gaining like subscribers and stuff like that, but I feel like that takes away from my enjoyment, like worrying about how many views it gets or likes or comments or subscribers or that kind of thing, because it's really not that important. Like in the grand scheme of things, the important thing is that I'm putting this out there for people to see, and I'm doing it for the glory of God, and I'm really just doing this because I can, and I have the knowledge and the platform to do it. So I wasn't sure how long this video was going to go. I still have a hard time with the timing of it. Like do people really want to watch 18 minutes of video, or do they want to watch 5 or whatever? But I mean, this is what it took for me to get all this out, and that's okay. And I hope that that you guys related to this in some way. Like I said, that book, The Anxious Heart's Guide, was very helpful to me. I don't know that I read the whole entire book, but I did take away, because it was more or less like newer relationships, like I said, and I've been married, but there was a lot of truth to what I was reading, and it really did end up helping me. And I shared that with my group and stuff like that, and I'm not sure if anybody read it or not, but it was really helpful. And being able to pinpoint like where my anxiety was coming from and why, and to put it into place and say, I don't need to feed into that anxiety anymore. Like, I know who I am. I'm confident that I'm sober now, and I'm established in my mental well-being, and what they have to say to me is not personal. It's there to help. And but it took a while to get there, but I did get there. And I hope that everybody gets to experience that, if you're struggling with anxiety like I did. And that was really the main reason why I wanted to quit drinking alcohol in the first place. Is I went through bouts of panic attacks. I went through just not being able to enjoy moments because I was just like tense and on edge, or getting red or nervous, and especially in like social settings. And I still do in some cases, but I'm getting better at that. And I don't think that that's anything that anybody's going to be able to help me with. That's just one of those things where I'm just going to keep putting myself in positions where I can practice it, sit with my feelings, know that those feelings are not me, they're just feelings, and I can take them with a grain of salt and just kind of move on, and be better at it next time. And I think that's all the best any of us can ask for, is that we're just learning the growth mindset. If we fail, whatever, we'll do better next time, and we'll know. And and then we'll have the experience. And so I really appreciate all you being here. If you take anything from this, like and subscribe. And for those that are still with me and on this journey with me, I appreciate you all. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.